Hello, I'm going to be explaining this pedigree problem, that's number 6, specifically part D. And so here's what it says. For each of the following scenarios, which the scenario over here is D, draw the pedigree and determine the most likely inheritance pattern. And it lists the following, which is X-linked, X-linked recessive, X-linked dominant, autosomal dominant, and autosomal recessive. Include all genotypes as much as possible and justify your answer based on the information below. So D says that a mother with a vision disorder passes the condition to all her sons, but none of her daughters are affected. And then it says that the mother has 2 sons who are both affected, and the mother is affected, and has 2 daughters who aren't affected. And one of the affected sons has a child with an unaffected woman, and none of their children are affected. And so what this problem asks us to do is go through every scenario of like Y-linked, X-linked recessive, X-linked dominant, autosomal dominant or recessive, and see which one like fits best into this scenario. The one that fits best could be the X-linked recessive due to the fact that in D it says that a mother with a vision disorder passes the condition to all her sons, but none of her daughters are affected. And so what this would be is we would draw a pedigree, the box being male and the circle being female, and the ones that are shaded are the ones that are affected, which is in the case the 2 sons and the last son having a child with the unaffected woman. And so I don't know if it's really easy to see through this, but if we look on the right side, the key, whenever this is because it's recessive, whenever there's 2 lowercase b's, there will be a vision disorder. And so because the father has a big B, which equals no vision disorder, and the mother only has little b's, the daughters will get the X from the father and 1 X from the mother, meaning that because they have the big B, they won't have the vision disorder. But because the males only have 1 X and is getting that from their mother, they will be getting the vision disorder. Now, for the son that has the child with the woman that doesn't have the disorder, we don't know exactly if she has big B, little b, and meaning that we wouldn't know what the child would have depending on its gender, so, or sex, right? And so the other ones, which I'll show you in a second, the Y-linked doesn't work out because of the prompt. We could try it, but it would be, first off, too complicated, and also it automatically just doesn't work out because of the prompt saying that it's the sons that are affected and the mother has the vision disorder. So let me pull up the other scenarios. All right, so we have X-linked dominant, which also works. The only difference would be that in order for this to work, the mother would have to have big B and little b in order for the daughters to not get the trait and only the sons to get it, because the father would have to have a lowercase b, which we pass on to the daughters, and then the mother would have to pass down the little b in order for them not to have the trait, but the mother would have to pass down the big B to the sons in order for them to have the trait. And then the woman that's unaffected would have to have little b, which is no vision disorder. And then we have autosomal dominant, which also works. And so this means that this wouldn't be on the gametes or like the sex-linked trait. So they'll, like, I put the XY and XX just said like identify them, but below it has the traits. So either big B has a vision disorder and then little b's have no vision disorder. And so it would pretty much be the exact same scenario as the X-linked dominant. It just wouldn't be X-linked. So the father, well, yeah, basically, yeah. The father would just have two B's, and the sons would have to have big B and little b in order for this to work. And then we have autosomal recessive, which again also works, is just flip-flopped. And so the mother would have to have two little b's for the vision disorder, and so would the sons. And then the father would have to have big B in order for the daughters to not have the trait. But yeah, that is everything for that problem.